In addition to supply and demand imbalances and excessive monetary expansion, government policies can also push prices higher. Two key examples, tariffs and carbon taxes. So let's start with tariffs. A tariff is a tax imposed on imported goods and inputs. This is essentially a surcharge added at the border. The intention is to protect domestic industries by making foreign products more expensive. But here is the reality. When the cost of bringing a product into the country increases, someone has to absorb it. Companies can partly absorb this increased cost in their profit margins or pass it along to the value chain to their distributors. But in most cases, a significant share of this additional cost is passed on to consumers.
What?
So don't be fooled. Tariffs might sound like they punish foreign companies, but in practice, it's local consumers like you and me who bear most of the cost. And here is a twist. After about a year, those higher prices no longer appear in inflation data. Not because anything got cheaper, but because the increased price level became the new normal. People are still paying more, it just no longer moves the famous CPI. Say new US tariffs on imported phone components raised iPhone prices by 25% this year. A year later, even if inflation appears to slow down, households may not feel any relief because they are still paying a quarter more for the same product. In short, tariffs quietly erode the purchasing power of local consumers, locking in higher production costs without generating any significant gains in terms of productivity or competitiveness. Second, carbon taxes, on the other hand, are a whole different story. A carbon tax is a levy on the CO2 content of fossil fuels. It's a way to put a price on pollution by making carbon-intensive goods more expensive, such as coal-based electricity, long-haul flights, and emission-heavy manufactured goods. But unlike tariffs, the goal here is not to protect industries. The carbon tax is a clear policy rationale to correct a market failure by internalizing the environmental cost of emissions, a cost that the market has ignored for decades. So the goal here is to change behavior. By increasing the cost of high-emission goods, carbon taxes create an intense incentive for firms and consumers to shift toward cleaner, more sustainable alternatives. So if the price signal works and innovation follows, which it often does, firms invest in cleaner technologies and cost pressures ease over time. Also, carbon taxes can be designed to be progressive and equitable by directing tax revenue to the most vulnerable households, which would help to protect their purchasing power during the transition to a low-carbon economy. Overall, the short-term cost of a carbon tax is a trade-off for longer-term environmental gains and economic resilience. So the next time someone says prices are up because of taxes, you might want to ask, what kind of taxes?